Station of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. As always, we come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what do we have? We're up 11 points on the S&P cash, 2593. Dow's up almost 200. NASDAQ's up a little over 21 points, 22 points. And the question that everybody wants to know is, do we have a tradable volume, a tradable bottom out here? And you know, we've been kind of beating a bottom out in this market for, well, since the middle of last week. And we'll talk about the signals that I see, but I think that's, I'd say we have a 90% chance that the bottom's in. You could get a little bit more retest of that candle of February 9th through the 6th, depending on what you're looking at. But we'll talk about why the signal is pretty big, that you're going to get a bounce out of here. Now, that doesn't say we go right back up to the highs. My thought is that we'll probably be going higher through the end of this month. And that is, even if I had a bearish view, or even a midterm bearish view, that would be it. But I'm just thinking this is one of the best washouts we've had in a long time. And the Bitcoin mania in the stock market probably going to fade a bit for a while. Probably going to have to be in positions a little longer. Probably won't be going to the moon every day with some stock. But we'll talk more about that today. We got a lot of news going on, and that's about it. We'll talk about it. Volume is about 4 billion shares on the U.S. equities market volume summary from the CBOE. We had just under 8 billion shares yesterday. So again, a fairly light volume day into this part. We'll see how the last 2 hours do come in. And the question is whether or not we're going to see any of that fund money actually show up. But certainly in the sell-off, we didn't see a lot of people diving on grenades to throw their shares out. The volume was fairly light. We're going to get into that. But let's get started here. Not a lot for me to do. I've got most of my positions set up. They're looking good. They're in the black. And the question is just how long it takes to get this market to kind of turn around and everybody turn that frown upside down in the market.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1996, a small wilderness cabin near Lincoln, Montana, Theodore Kaczynski is arrested by FBI agents and accused of being the Unabomber, the elusive terrorist blamed for 16 mail bombs that killed 3 people and injured 23 during an 18-year period. His brother, after reading something that looked very much like what he wrote when he was out in Berkeley, California, that is Berkeley, California, for those people that have never been there. It's affectionately called Berkeley because of the incredible amount of mentally ill people. They have tenuous grasp on reality. If you've ever been out there, man, you know what I'm talking about. It was the rejection of one of his papers by 2 Chicago area universities in 1978 that may have prompted him to manufacture and deliver his first mail bomb. The acronym stands for University, Airline, and Bomber. Unabomber. University and Airline. Most people don't know that. Good little series that got fairly high ratings. I didn't see it. Was very interested in the chase for this. I read the book. I think maybe the same book that this TV series that just came out here a little while ago was based on. But very interesting to see. You know, we go back to the early 1800s for the people that are known as Luddites. If you don't know what those people hated technology. They thought it was going to take their jobs away from them. The history says that for the short term, that is true. In the long term, it just makes life better and better. There's a great book if you're feeling a little Luddite-ish called Rationally Optimistic. Try to get the author on, and amazingly how many of these authors that I like all have some kind of mental defect too. And this one is that guy is a pretty good guy, but a little bit of problems also mentally. But wrote a very good book. I guess that's maybe if you're not good in public, maybe you should write books. Well, this guy did. But you just get these guys that are a little bit of Asperger's, or a whole lot of Asperger's. They're incredibly smart and horrible in public. I think he said a couple of things that he wished he didn't say in some of the interviews and never wanted to be interviewed again. But he goes through 2,000 years of technology and shows why technology is always, literally always, made life better after a period of time of adapting it. Anyway, the Luddites, this is kind of what this guy had. He hated technology. He would mail a bomb every time a 747 would fly over his tiny shed up there in Montana. Just a weird guy, turned in by his brother. Brother made a deal that they wouldn't execute him. Very interesting case, especially how hard it is. And of course, this is what actually led to a system that most people don't know exists, which is every piece of mail is photographed as it goes through the mail system. Most people don't know that. They've got secret cameras on mailboxes now, all to find out who's mailing those little bags of talcum powder to various people to terrorize them. But on this day in 1996, they finally caught him. I always wanted to do a beauty contest of people that were caught and put him up against Saddam Hussein. Who looked worse, this guy or Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein had everybody in the world looking for him. This guy thought no one in the world knew who he was on this day in 1996. We'll be back after this. We'll get into a lot of news that I think is interesting. Then we'll start looking at some charts, but talk about some technicals.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Now you know the rest of the story.
One of my favorite things of all time, wasn't it? To catch news at noon, get Paul Harvey. Good day. That was one of the saddest times when he no longer was on the radio. I just loved it. Good day. What do we got going on? Well, first I want to talk about volumes. I look at them every single way that there can be. Pretty much. Put it in the newsletter each day. Actually, I did a double shot of that today in the newsletter. But let's just talk about the high points. If you are a Wyckoff-style trader who thinks about trading the way I do, which is worked for, I don't know, a little over 100 years. But if we just look at the SPYs, because that's the easiest thing for you to do, and your number's going to match my numbers. We'll see that the February 9th low volumes came in at 283 million shares. Yesterday, it got into that candle with 186 million shares. The CBOE volume summary came in on February 9th at 12 billion shares. That's everything traded, including the NASDAQ, the Amex, everything. Yesterday, we had 7.9 billion shares into that. If we look at it just in the dollars, let's say everybody was doing small caps to large caps. Let's just see where people put the dollars. We tested a $700 billion day with a $421 billion day. If we're looking for the energy on the way down, it certainly didn't come in on those previous lows around February 6th through February 9th. So is it any real big deal that we don't have, or that we found probably a bottom? The answer is yes, but at the same time, I bring this up many times. We had many sectors, not all, we had many sectors that did come down with stronger volume. And what happened is it all dried up down here. So if you come down on volume, but you get no volume when you go down into the support, that means you're going to get a bounce. But as I say often, that bounce doesn't mean that you go to the moon. It doesn't mean that you get an instant V. A lot of times it's more kind of like a U. You get some false starts. And that kind of sets up my thought that we are going to probably go into at least options expiration, which is the 20th, probably even into the end of next month with fund buying, and maybe into the first couple of days of May, where we're going to see at least the market quit going down. My suspicion is that we'll get back into the 2700s, but that's going to be on sector rotation. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen the people pile headlong into something else. They're kind of scared. A lot of people are on the sidelines. So we've gotten back to where the people that aren't scared aren't selling. We got the people, and now we're looking at a day here where we're up 8 points on the S&P cash. No big whoop. The same thing, up 8 on the NASDAQ, up 131 on the Dow. But everybody's too scared to buy. And, of course, the best time to buy real estate is when there's blood in the street. And when everybody's nervous, I try to feel a little greedy. When everybody's greedy, I try to find myself a little bit nervous. And that's why after a big day, I'm always looking for the market kind of to go down. And after a big washout, looking for the market to go up. But that V bottom is probably going to be more like a U bottom. It's also set up a little bit where it will probably take a little time. Faith is not lost overnight and not regained in an instant, especially if you're talking about relations between men and women. And this one's kind of like, well, you were kind of looking at that gal at dinner last night. So, hey, probably on a little bit of probation. And that's kind of the way the market is now. But I see a lot of stocks out there that have extremely good patterns in the market. 80% chance, something like that, 75% chance. That's one of the best edges you have in the market. My guess is that we just kind of drift on up through the rest of the month. Everybody will kind of short the market at every possible opportunity. We'll get back up. We'll make some kind of signal. That signal will tell us probably somewhere between 2,700, 2,720, maybe as high as 2,750. And so people will be, they'll be kind of nervous out here. It's not the good old days where the market was nothing but a fire hose of new cash coming into the market because of the Fed and our government. It's a little bit different these days, and it'll take a little bit of that to get out. But, you know, if we do get some kind of new NAFTA deal here in a couple of weeks, that's only takes us out to the 20th. A couple other good turns, some deals made. Things could look pretty good by the end of the month. As I said, it's going to turn that frown upside down, I think, by the end of the month. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always put a message in the den. Okay. Now, we were talking about Luddites. These guys were probably not the most sophisticated of people. But I have to tell you that I'm going to do a little victory dance here in a second. But in fact, actually, I'm going to do it in my newsletter on Friday for the Tech Insider, because there was some survey that came out, and I instantly knew it was within about 30 minutes. It was total crap, and it was actually retracted today. That put a big hitch in one of my trades. Didn't stop out because I knew it was kind of a fake deal. Had to sit through a tough trade for maybe a day and a half earlier last fall? Something like that, last fall. May have been even into Christmas. I think maybe November or December. But you knew it was a lie. I'm going back to a few things out here that people have been talking about, and that's Intel. I kind of pointed out that everybody piling on Intel back with the quote, unquote. Is that the way you should say it? Quote, unquote? Yeah. Deal with the huge problem with processors. Well, it wasn't a huge problem with processors. people were kind of beating the drums to try to get Intel down. I'm seeing more of that today. But, you know, it's you see these articles, and I always wonder who's behind them, especially when you read the paper and you find out that they're fairly poor. And the people that don't understand physics talk a great deal about it. Generally, that makes me ultra skeptical about their claims. Extraordinary claims need extraordinary proof, and normally you don't get that. Anyway, the last couple of days we saw cell phones don't cause cancer. Well, I'm going to tell you that that's going to get retracted, just like the one that did today got retracted. Tumors were found in the hearts of female rats too, but they didn't rise to the level of statistical significance. So apparently cell phones only affect female rats, not male rats. Well, that should be your first red flag out here. We'll talk more about this when we come back. A couple of things, and then we'll get into some charts.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Anyway, just my point here is that a lot of these things have ulterior motives when you find these things coming out. Sometimes they're just slack-jawed morons who write these papers, and anybody that actually would look at these things fairly closely would figure out that they're not worth the paper they're printed on. The interesting thing about this one was they took rats that all came from one company. My guess is that we're going to find out that these rats had been so inbred that they all had tumors. We found out that other things like this in the past were saccharin. They gave the rats would have to swill down 5 gallons of Coca-Cola a day that had saccharin in. I think it used to be, yes. Diet Coke back then had saccharin in the other ones. It's probably not great, but at the same time, these stories aren't very good. Actually, for these rats, they put them in the equivalent of a microwave and almost cooked them to death. So I'm not going to do a lot about worrying about using my cell phone. I didn't use it a lot anyway. If I did, wouldn't worry about it. In physics, your claim that cell phones cause cancer are the equivalent of me saying I could take a pea shooter and knock a locomotive off the railroad tracks. That's about the equivalent of those two things. And as I said before, extraordinary claims need extraordinary proof, and there is none. Just don't bite at this stuff when it happens. As I told you thusly many years ago, last fall, when Roku IPO'd, it had been losing money. The bigger it got, the more money it lost. The thing went up fairly high. What is it trading around? ROKU. $29.50. You'd really want to watch out for this thing now, because my guess is this is on a trajectory to zero. And the reason I want to bring this up is I'm going to bring up another one that looks very much like this. That is a company that has been around for a while, never made money, and somehow now it's going to make money. Normally, when you see a company go into the IPO, they continue to scale up. And as they scale up, they lose less and less money as a percentage of their company. I never understood the idea how Roku could make money. They sold a little device for $75 that you can get from both Amazon and Google for $35 to stream video to your TV. And what do? They have their own content? No, they've got other people's content. How are they different than anybody else? I just, I'm not always right, but normally if you start with these IPOs with just on any kind of easy one-sentence idea how they make money, and you find out that they don't make money, and they IPO, and the first thing that happens within 30 days is this thing's got a 50% short interest in it, you're just kind of looking at yet another GoPro. Great story, not much truth in the pudding, as it says. So Spotify goes IPO today. I'm going to give you the exact same warning. Here's a little segment from the prospectus which I read. We have incurred significant costs to license content and continue to pay royalties to such music labels, publishers, and other copyright owners for such content, the company wrote in the filing. It's been around 10 years. As it grows, it also loses more money, not less. So things are getting worse, not better. Their goofy setup for the IPO today, if I dig back in it, I bet I would find the fly in the ointment, but I'm not going to worry about it. I like the product. I do use it. I do not pay for a subscription, and that's always been the problem with it. Years ago, Buffett used to always say, if you want to end up with $1 billion, start with $2 billion and buy an airline. Every company that's gone into streaming audio directly has pretty much ended up losing out and going bankrupt. One of the other big things in the Spotify IPO was the way that they came up with their valuation for the company. And if you put that against Pandora and basically set up Pandora the same way, Pandora, which was under $5 earlier this morning, I haven't looked at it now, should be a $20 stock. So what is the truth after a little bit of time in the market? Is Pandora right or is Spotify right? I would say if Spotify things had been getting better, not worse, then Spotify might have an opportunity to be right. But as they get bigger, they just lose more money and a bigger percentage of money. Things are not getting better. They're getting worse. Maybe something changes, but I doubt it. The royalties that they pay just went up a few months ago, and I suspect the reason why this thing got pushed out on a fairly unsuspecting public today. I guess that's a question. Roku going to zero. Over time, it's just like GoPro. We knew GoPro had every sign of what is GoPro selling at now? $4 or something? $4.49. Everybody knew it. GoPro went to $110 because people shorted it, and they kept running them out of it at somewhere what $100 plus $100 or so. Could Spotify do the exact same thing? It could. My guess, though, is in a year from now we're going to see Pandora bankrupt. Probably 2 years, Spotify bankrupt. You'd need some major changes in legislation in the way that content is paid for, or the ability to start charging more than HBO for music. Would you pay more for Spotify a monthly that you paid for HBO? And I think the answer is no. I think probably $9.95 is about the high end for what you're going to get one of these streaming companies to get. And people that actually do it pay $10. You know, every time you listen to a something, you're given 2 cents or a nickel to somebody. That kind of just drives Spotify and the rest of these guys slowly broke. I just don't see the idea behind this, but we'll continue to look. S&P is flat right now. Dow's up 67. Nasdaq's down 11. As I said, I think we've got somewhere around the bottom here, but my guess is there's going to be a lot of stocks that get washed out, come down on heavy volume at least for a while, and then test the lows on lighter volume. You're going to get a bounce, but it's going to be much more like a U than a V. It's going to take a lot of patience. I've got one option position on now. It does not expire until the April 20th level. And you know what? It's pretty close. It's like $1 under going into the money. And I only got $1 in it. So just about any kind of movement upward will make me a bunch of money on that one. The rest of them, just light tests, light volume, more tests on light volume. And for the most part, all well into the money. We'll be back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks. Would you like exposure to the foreign currency markets without any downside risk to your principal? Then consider the Petro Currencies Market Safe CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD leverages the performance of 4 equally weighted currencies from these top oil-producing countries: Brazil, Canada, Mexico, and Russia. This CD features a 200% leverage factor, which means that your potential upside payment will be double the currency's average performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And if the returns are negative, your principal's 100% protected. Returns are based on CD performance with no correlation to the price of oil, and there is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. The April 19th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA FSB, member FDIC.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. Okay, got a couple subscriber emails that I answered during the break. Okay, what else do we have on? Let's start looking at some of these stocks that we are talking about and what we're seeing out here. Adamas Pharmaceuticals, ADMS is the symbol on this one. Nice little gap up here with 5.2 million shares on the 30th of October. We got 6.6 million shares on February 23rd and 700,000 shares on March 28th. This thing's been going sideways out here. These actually look fairly good. Again, you're going to need a change in psychology, but you've got some very nice buy signals in a lot of these stocks. Some of these things are starting to turn higher. Air Lease is a beautiful pattern. Symbol on this one's AL. This one is back in the trading range, got a buy signal on it. That buy signal comes from the test of the February 9th low at just under 1 million shares at 41.95. It tested to that yesterday with 388,000 shares. So, you know, when I was learning to trade, it was all about a 10% change in volume. This is what, 60% change in volume for yesterday's low, testing the 41.95. As long as we close back above 41.95, you have a valid buy signal on Air Lease. And guess what? You've got a nice pullback from that February 23rd high on fairly light energy. With some of these other companies like Tesla going lower, not too surprised to see Marley testing previous lows. This got a little doji out here today. Back here on March 2nd, $90.16 with 5.7 million shares. Today we're turning 1.2 million shares with a little doji out here. Energy, not that much lighter on the move down, but certainly the volume and test of that March 2nd low on very, very light volume. So take a look at Alaska Airlines. Is that what this is? Alaska Air Group now. This thing's bouncing around the $58.93 level. Yesterday we got a nice test of this doji on January 25th at 58.93. That had 10.4 million shares. Tested it with just 40% of the volume. Really? Wow. Just 40% of the volume in a huge move yesterday. And guess what? Back into the trading range today on light volume. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me what's going on, and the answer is on a trade like this, what you want to be looking at is count off about 3 days. So you get the test yesterday. Today's the first day. You get the second day. You know, you get into Friday and this thing hadn't started to move. You're probably going to go back and retest that 57.60 again. But right now, I think you got a free roll for a couple of days in these. Volume doesn't always come instantly right off the bottom. That's why I'm saying more of a U than a V, but we'll see that. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn or put a message in the den. So we shall see. BZH, Wednesday, we've got a nice little, Lennar coming out. We talked about this one. Very nice looking pattern. I have to say that why these things had been under assault for a while, the question is how long they take to absorb higher interest rates and what that price is. February 9th is a $15.02 low at $1.68. So what are we going to test it with? Let's test it with this 30%, maybe 35% of the volume yesterday. And what do we have so far? Fairly light volume and a move back into the trading range. So that's a pretty valid buy signal. I wouldn't be buying homes and home builders here, but maybe after Wednesday, maybe something changes with Lennar on Wednesday. We'll see. We talked about this one yesterday, which is Cirrus Logic. Wanted to see on this. Again, I thought that the semis were probably the weakest part of this market. Question is, when is this whole market as a whole going to turn and go higher? My guess is going to be maybe in the next day or so when we see these semis that are down on fairly light volume, almost no volume, actually pop back into the trading range. So you might want to set up some of these that have kind of pierced the previous lows. 42 for the low today. Any close back above $39.51 on the continued very light volume, 7.5 million shares compared to 1.2 million shares yesterday, so 1/4 the volume. These are going to pop back into the trading range. When they do, that's probably when those SMHs are going to see a lot of people pile back on. Although I suspect the better trade is going to be sector rotation. Let's look at some other ones. DY. We have David in Framingham. Go right ahead.
Hi, how are you, David?
Good enough.
Could you take a look at AKS and give a price target on that?
$6.14.
Oh, that's where it could go? Could it go any higher than that? Or?
It certainly could go to 680.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Beautiful chart pattern, 21 million shares being tested by 13 million shares.
Okay, because last couple of years it's gone up to about $11. That's what I was wondering.
It certainly can. My view of this would be that what you're looking at is first of a test of $6.14. Okay. If it breaks that with volume, then you get 680. And if it breaks that, then you can start looking up. I just look at this as a great trade here from the $4.26 low back up to 614. I think anybody would be happy with that trade.
Right. Okay.
The problem I see is you got the high volume down day on this back on the 30th of January, and it's going to take a while to grind through that. That takes you up to about 650. I think you're probably going to get above that 614, but that's where you're going to have probably maximum resistance level as this comes back up.
Yeah.
You had a good day. I mean, you came up on the 16th with 66 million shares, and it failed. My guess is it's going to get right into that candle again, and it's going to take some time to chew through it. And then that only gets you to 680 after that. So for me, my trade would be right out here to 614 and take the cash and run unless you get a lot of volume coming in.
Yeah. Could you take one more here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the S&P, the SPX there, there's a gap up there at 2850, and there's another
Which symbol are you looking at?
SPX.
Seagate.
SPX, the Standard & Poor's?
S&P 500?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll look at that when we come back. It'll be just a minute. Yeah, if you can hold.
25, will they get filled, do you think?
Let's talk when you get back from the other side of the break.
Okay.
Be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
You don't buy into that nonsense, do you? You know you can't time the markets. I didn't. And in 2006, I set out on a mission to do just that. I began by surrounding myself with the greats like Tom O'Brien, Larry Pesavento, David White, and Basil Chapman. I read countless books and even looked to the moon and planets for answers. Now, we both know that trading is 80% mental, so I learned the exact tools that Tony Robbins uses to overcome fear. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability. Last March, the folks at Timers Digest began tracking my newsletter signals, which through January 18, 2018, placed me as the #1 gold timer for that exact time frame. Now, I can't officially be recognized until Timers Digest has a full year of signals, but clearly I've learned how to time the markets, and I'd like to teach you how to do that as well. Subscribers to Mastering Probability gain access to my live and archive workshops where I show you the exact same patterns that earned me this #1 ranking. If you're looking for great market calls and an education, sign up for Mastering Probability today at TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And hopefully we're back with David. You still online?
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Okay, so you wanted to look at the S&P 500.
Right, and there's a gap up there at 2850 back at the end of January there. And there's a gap at 2825. Do you see those getting filled at all? I always see gaps get filled, but...
When?
Oh, like
I
when
mean,
would
are
it
you
get
talking
filled?
about on this run?
Yeah,
in
going
this
up
year?
At the end of January of 2018. Well, we
could we see that happen? I think we could have a humdinger of a fall after we get through this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Once we get back
we've
up,
got
the
a lot of government spending. We've got a lot of new cash coming into the market with lower withholdings, and the only thing we have right now is a lot of people that are fairly nervous because a lot of these stocks were well overpriced. A lot of these things were in the 20s for price earnings multiples, and you need to get these things back down into the 16s and 17s, and we're kind of looking at that level. So yeah, I think we could probably get back up into the 20s for the PE after we've come off those, especially.
This is the SPX we're talking about, the S&P 500.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
so that those two gaps could possibly get filled.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's probably, I would say 80% chance, the way I would look at it. The thing, though, is how big of a pullback could you take between now and then? And that's why I don't,
I got a
at
feeling
least on the air, tend to speculate that long, because it doesn't do you any good to say that the Dow is going to 40,000 if it goes to 10,000 first, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that kind of person that kind of does it's all about the ancient Chinese secret, right?
Right.
It's what I see now, and yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna swing much harder than that. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat hunt.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.